What's the point of your plan if you didn't carefully examine all possible options? Because what was the point of telling the girl that she was going to switch places with someone if you didn't properly tell her how to get out of there?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another review on the Review Garden.
Episode 11 of Captivating the King starts with pretty much where episode 10 left off. Mona and Mong-woo are trying to figure out how to tell the king what happened. So if you remember what happened in episode 10, they made the princess switch places with the person that Hisu had on the inside. And the head court lady, well, I don't know if she's the head court lady, but she's the head court lady for the Queen Dowager. And she went and told the uncle and the Queen Dowager that there was a girl who ran out of the quarters. And I'm like, why didn't y'all consider this part of your plan? So the king's uncle went to go see who went to see the face of the girl. And I'm like, same comment from last time. And I'm like, why wasn't there someone else, from the king that is protecting her? Because they said as soon as she puts those the jewelry on her, she's no longer she's no longer family of the king. She's now with them. So why isn't there somebody there protecting her face, protecting her identity? So we're asking ourselves, did he see that it was the wrong girl? Does he know that they switch places? Is he going to bring it up to the king? Are they going to, execute the princess for breaking the rules? Now, we already know Mong-woo's not going to get in trouble. So who's going to get in trouble if the uncle does find out that they made the switch? Her interaction with the king, Mong-woo's interaction with the king is hilarious to me, because she's like confessing that, it was all her, and that, she coerced everybody else into it. And I'm like, and he's like, do you think I wouldn't execute you because I'm in love with you? And then she's like, oh, does the crimes I've committed does not render my love false? And I'm like, aren't you the one plotting to get revenge on this man? And now you're telling him you love him, but you have everybody else convinced that, you're going to follow through with your plan for revenge. Come on, girl. Come on. Who are you fooling? And at this point, it doesn't make sense for, Mong-woo to lie to the king, because he's the only one who literally can protect her, Like, no one else has enough power. Only he has enough power to protect her. But I don't think his uncle is aware that she's the one who orchestrated the whole thing. He's probably suspecting Mona as the person behind it all. So it's a good thing that, they show you that Vice envoy Jung was there and, was doing exactly what I said. And he was stopping the uncle from seeing her face. Like, you're not supposed to see her face. So it was a good thing that they showed you it was there. But the king's uncle is still plotting to get everybody punished or killed. So he's planning to get the Grand Prince, the Mona, and Mongwu. He's trying to get all of them punished. The king took care of the whole situation regarding the princess. And, I guess he kind of threatened the uncle a little bit. But that's not going to stop him from plotting some more. Because now he's like, oh, it's in the past. Now we need something else to pin against them. But my thing is, what is your end game? Like, I get it, it's power, but why do you want to get rid of Mongwu and Mona? Because I don't get what his thing is with them. Does he realize that, they're like his competition? Like, why are you so worried about them? Why don't you worry about the king staying in power? Because that's really where you should focus. But I guess, they're trying to get rid of anybody who has authority to the throne, because the previous episodes, he was trying to get rid of the Grand Prince, and him and the mom were trying to get rid of the princess. That's why they persuaded the king to have her be married off, right? So, and with the whole situation that just happened with the princess, where is she now? Like, how did they get her off the quarters, and how are they going to, protect her identity? And they need to quickly get the Grand Prince out of there, because the king's uncle is just going to go after him again. And speaking of the princess, it seems that the king tried to, he ordered, what's his name? The chief secretary or something like that, to take care, the one who's directly on top of Mona. He ordered him to go take care of the princess, making sure that she arrives to a safe place. And I'm like, while I understand them using the carriage and carrying her, but what if someone gained knowledge of what they were doing? What if someone followed them? Like, you don't know, and you see that carriage, you'll automatically know it's for somebody important. And if one of, the uncle's guys were following them, you just never know. And the woman was like, she's worried about the princess, which is true. You don't know what's gonna happen. But I just hope that, she makes it safely, and that's it. We don't need her to die. Like it would be pointless for her to die, because they already took her out. And the Grand Prince visiting the queen every day, as she's sick. They didn't really say what her sickness was, but she is getting sick, so they're probably going to have her pass away. And I'm guessing Hisu is going to be the new queen, maybe. And did I hear correctly that the Queen Dowager wants the Grand Prince to get married? Isn't he like 10? What's he gonna get married for? And the queen is, having Mongwu by her side, and she's trusting well, I'm gonna say him in this case, because the queen still thinks that Mongwu is a man. So she's trusting, trusting him, and is letting him hang out with the king. Da, 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 da. She was worried about the senior court lady being so close to him. And did we see the king never visited her once as she's sick? Never visited her at all. Like, that's your wife, dude. Whatever's happening, she's still the queen. But yeah, so back to Mongwu, she's letting them hang out together. Like, little does she know, like, that's his side piece. Like, you need to be as worried about her as you were about, the senior court lady. And I knew that when the guy who's missing the eye, when he found out that Mongwu or Hesu likes the king, or was swayed by the king, he would not be happy about it. And I wasn't expecting him to find out so soon, but he found out ever since the night that, Mongwu got drunk and they were at her father's house. So now what is he gonna do? He doesn't trust her as much as before. And he's like, I'm gonna listen to you right now, but once things start going, and if you continue to be swayed, then I'm gonna take matters into my own hand. But I'm like, you're taking matters into your own hand without knowing the proper, like, who is truly responsible. Because the king, at the time that he lost his eye, he was the grand prince. He was not the one responsible. And for Hisu's dad, he was not the one responsible for that. If we remember what happened with her dad, the king was the one. So the older brother was the one who sent the spy in, and the guy who was the spy was Isu's father's guy. So he went and took accountability for what he did. So the king is not responsible. The current king is not the one responsible for everything. Episode 11, is ending with the giant or heavy thunderstorm, the lightning, really bad lightning. Like, it looks more like a storm is coming. And of course, the lightning hits something and it catches on fire. And guess what the lightning hits? The tree that was never, that no one can get to grow again. And that was the tree from the king's late brother, right? He was the one, or the both of them planted it. So now we're going to see how he's going to react to the tree catching on fire, Okay, so correction about the tree. I think the brother planted the peach tree when he was taken captive. The king is thinking that all the tree burning and the thunder happening, all this is like the heavens being angry that he is that he is currently in power. And you see like his mom acting like, oh no, don't say that, da, 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 da. And I'm like, all of you people have something to be guilty of, because you all over here conniving, and you're plotting, you're doing all this stuff for power. So I mean, he's right. The heavens are angry with some of y'all. And I guess the whole thing about the tree is kind of drawing up some, is having the king remember his brother. You could see that in the scene where the senior court lady was in his quarters and she was giving him his tea. You know, he was asking her, hey, you know who killed my brother, right? And then she was like suddenly scared. And then I'm like, of all the scenes that she could remember, all the things that she could remember about this man was when he put his crusty infected finger in her mouth. I was like, ugh. Of all the scenes you could have remembered, that was the one. So, and with the way you saw her crying, maybe she tried to kill him because of that. Like, she was one of the people trying to kill him because ew. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't only one time. She was by his side every night. Ew. Ew. Now back to the whole tree thing, because they're still talking about it. 13 minutes into episode 12, Mona is asking for forgiveness because, you know, that was his whole responsibility to take care of the tree. You know, that's why he put him in that position. And, you know, he couldn't get it done. And he's like, oh, I think the heavens are punishing me. Da, da, da. And the king's like, thank you for being honest with me and admitting your faults, but I will not be punishing you. And then everybody else is getting mad. How come you're not going to punish him when he admitted his... I'm sorry, but why are you going to punish him for an act of God? Like, what did he do? It wasn't like he's the one who started the lightning. So why are you going to punish him for something that was beyond his control? And had he actually gotten the plant started and then it got hit by lightning, I feel like that would have been much worse. But now I feel like it's gone. He could just start over and, you know, grow a brand new tree, you know? But if the king doesn't want that, what's going to happen to Mona now? Because that was his whole job. That was the whole reason the king put him as the sixth, whatever. That was his whole reason for being on the court. So what's going to happen to him now? The king finally visited the queen, and she is getting sicker by the minute. Like, she does not look good. And even the doctors, like, her days are numbered. But like, she pretty much told her dad, her final wish. So her final wish is to have, you know, the prince become the crown prince in order to protect him. Now, you know, now the father is feeling some kind of way because he wants to honor his daughter's wishes, but it's also going to put him in a weird situation with the king's uncle. But then again, he's already in a weird situation after that last event that happened, when he was supposed to be the one finding or donating money to go get the envoy, but then he didn't. the other guy went instead. So who knows if he's going to. He probably will. He probably will honor his daughter's wishes because it's his daughter. And I think the queen's dad is also, picking up on what's going on because, the uncle and the king's mom is trying to get a new queen for the king, and they're not letting anyone know about it. And I'm like, dude, let the girl enjoy her last moments, okay? Let the current queen enjoy her last moment. Like, she's not even thing yet, and you're already trying to find a new queen because you want an heir for the throne. Like, this is crazy to me. I guess the king's uncle has never been one to keep his word because he promised the other guy one thing, that his daughter would be the new queen, but then now he's telling him that, oh, I need you to find a spouse for the grand prince, not the king. And he's choosing Mr. Yu, one of his sisters, I'm guessing, or no, one of his nieces, because his sister died by his own hands. But he's saying one of his nieces. One is 17, one is 16. They don't belong in this equation. What is going on here? Okay, but yeah, so he's not one to keep his word. Now you're telling this man that, oh, well, I've already given you enough. I'm not about to give you this one. I'm choosing him, and that's it. And I'm like, I guess we're going to find out how powerful this man is if he's actually going to sit back and let you double cross him like that. The word about the grand prince becoming the crown prince has made its way, throughout everybody. And, the queen's father suggesting it in front of the courts. And then, so now you see all the people who are against it, all the people who support it. And then you see, Mr. Kim, of course, he's supporting it now because he already agreed for his daughter to, marry the grand prince. So now his daughter is up next, to become queen or whatever. And you have the king's mom who's like, over my dead body, this is not going to happen. You're not going to turn the grand prince into the crown prince. You need to produce your own heir. It's not too late for you to produce your own heir. This man is telling you that he's not going to get married again, or anytime soon. So, getting an heir out of him is very slim. The conversation that the king had with his uncle outside his personal quarters, I mean, part of me is like, okay, I watching this show understand that he could be saying those things, because he wants reassurance from the uncle to, I want to believe that. But the fact that, Hisu overheard him talking like that about his own nephew is crazy, because now everything she kind of felt for him is going away, because in his mind, no one else is listening. It's just him and his uncle, and he's trying to put his uncle's mind at ease, maybe trying not to raise awareness that he might overthrow the uncle, maybe, because they're having the conversation about the nephew, the grand prince, and he's like, oh, he's going to, kill the grand prince and da 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 da. Like, no matter what, I don't care if it's my kin, if they disrespect the throne or if anything happened, I'm going to take care of the throne. And I'm like, dude, what are you saying? Like everybody watching knows that you don't feel this way, and then you have the uncle being happy because, oh, he's gonna get his way, yes, wow, like he's still on my side, da, 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 da. And then you have her listening in, and she's like scared, shaking, crying because she thought she knew him, but then you know with him acting this way, her feeling mixed feelings. So I don't know where this is gonna go. I'm pretty sure she's gonna try to go back to her revenge side of things. So the queen passed away right after the grand prince became the crown prince. And, it was so sad. But in a way, she's not suffering anymore. And then now that the king is by himself, Hisu and the other guy, the guy who's missing the eye, are trying to kill the king. Again, he's like, oh, I have to avenge the girl's killer. But I'm like, again, it was her brother who tortured her. It was her brother and Mona's father who was technically responsible for her bruises, for her injury. And Mona was there too. So how is it Mona gets a free pass and then you're going after the king? Yes, I understand the king didn't do anything and let her die. She died because she didn't get treatment. But the true person who was responsible was her own brother. So if you want to avenge her death, you need to go take care of that man too. Not just the king. At least the king is not, he's not all the way dumb, because the reason I said that is because he didn't know he didn't know somebody was listening to him and his, acting a certain way and then acting differently, blah, blah, blah. But towards the end of episode 12, you see him saying, Yisu having a change of heart because the other guy was inside waiting to kill the king. And, she's having a change of heart saying, don't go inside. And he's like, do you have another lover? Or is there an assassin waiting to get me? Da 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 da. And that's how the episode ended. So now, where do we go from here? There's 4 episodes left. The questions we're asking. How is, are other people going to find out Mengwu's true identity? And when that happens, depending on who finds out, what's going to happen? Are they going to use that to some kind of leverage or try to get her executed? There's still the matter of how this episode ended. She didn't let him go inside. So is he going to call his guys to come arrest the guy, the quote, assassin that's inside the house? So I think the main question is, where do we go from here? And I think this series has done a good job at keeping you in suspense and kind of not being predictable. So, we can only watch the future episodes to find out. So that is the end of my review and reaction for episodes 11 and 12. Join me again for episodes 13 and 14. And this wraps up our journey on The Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on The Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.